Welcome, AP Economics students. This is Ms. Foley, and we are officially, this is pretty exciting, starting our College Board AP exam review. So I have developed a schedule based on what I've learned about our online exams this year and what our needs are going to be. So just to run through it very quickly, today is AP College Board Exam Review Day 1. And as you notice today, we are going to be taking a look at, so these are the dates. If you're block 2, you're doing this on the 22nd. If you're block 7, you're doing this on the 23rd. The topic is basic economic concepts. So this is Unit 1. This is applicable for the macroeconomic exams and the microeconomics exams. It's the only topic that is in both. So every day you'll have your date, your topic, and what you need to do. Kind of your checklist is this assignment page. And so what you need to do is watch the Ms. Foley introduction to review the structure for online learning, which you're doing right now. Good job. You're going to access the review day 1 Google document page, which we'll do in a few moments. You're going to watch a review on supply and demand and pretty much like the big topics, opportunity cost we talk about, comparative advantage, that kind of thing. And then there's a quiz on Google Classroom in the classwork section that you need to complete. All of the quizzes are for a portion of your 4th marking period grade. So as you notice, here are the topics that we're going to be doing each day. Pretty much each day is the same. You're going to be looking at that review day Google document, which I will always have a YouTube video of me kind of going over that document for you. There will always be a video, and then there will always be a quiz. So that's what's happening day 2. That's what's happening day 3. Now, so the first thing that we're reviewing is reviewing macroeconomics. So units 2 and 3 are next class, and then unit 4. And if you remember, unit 4 is really challenging. So I made it 3A and 3B. We're going to be going over the financial sector twice. We're going to be doing our usual Google document, a pre-recorded review, and then a quiz. So we'll do that. But we'll also, on the following day, have a live online session through Google Meet. Now, what I found out is that I have to have live online Google Meet sessions during specific times, depending when my classes are. So that is why I have these times available here. What I will be doing is I will be recording the Google Live session. So there will be, many kids will be able to attend. They'll ask questions. It'll be a live session. But if for some reason you can't attend, that you can, watch the pre-recorded and get credit by watching the the recorded live online session. So that's what we're doing for that. I think that unit 5 and 6 were a little challenging too, not unit 6, but mostly unit 5. And that's why I also did a live online session through Google Meet for that day as well. As you can notice, there isn't anything for Unit 7 because Unit 7 isn't on the exam. I put more review days for macro because it's been a longer time since we've done macro. And then we have 3 days to review micro with that review day page, pre-recorded lesson, quiz, same structure. The one exception is that on the review day 7, so our second to last day of review, I'm also going to put out an additional survey of what topics you still would like to go over. And then the day before the exams, I'm going to be doing a Google Meet live online session. Those are the times that we have to stick to, and that will be that. I did get some feedback from students that some of you are more afternoon people or early evening people. So I think as long as it's outside the school day, I wouldn't have a problem doing an additional session. kind of outside school hours. So like more like a 3 to 4 o'clock or a 4 to 5 o'clock, something like that. So if that's something that you're interested in, or if you think I should organize, please send me an email. And I definitely want to get that organized. Okay. Um, Important information. So we're going to be taking a look at this calendar every day. Remember, for microeconomics, that exam is first. That's on the 20th. It's online. It's at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And then the macro is on Thursday, the 21st. You can click this because you'll have a Google document of this. You can click and open this, and these are my Reader Digest where I'm, basing my review out of. This is me trying to take my entire brain and spill it on a Google Slides presentation. So these are like the most important things that have been on the AP exams in the past, that they emphasize in the past, and that is what they do. So for each day, I have, um, important concepts, key things, graphs, concepts, that sort of situation, vocabulary, that sort of thing is all available here. So feel free to take a copy of that and print it out, use it, that sort of thing. So that's definitely where we are taking a look at. Okay. So every day that you log on, you are going to access my Google document. Okay, so I make one for every day. So here's the first one for today. The topic is basic economic concepts. It's unit 1. It's a macro and micro topic. It's the only one that's both. And as you can see, I have a 19-minute lesson here about the review on economic concepts. And just to kind of backpedal a little bit, for the next couple of weeks, as you can see, obviously, it's all about reviewing for the exam, and participating and completing these quizzes are part of your fourth marking period grade, even if you aren't participating and actually taking the exam. You still are required to complete the classwork. That's a question that somebody asked. Somebody said, hey, Ms. Foley, I'm not going to be taking the exam because I need to take it in college or something like that. You still need to actually do the coursework for the class. So just make sure you get those Google quizzes done and kind of review that. It really shouldn't be too much of a heavy lift. But for most people, you're taking the exam. So you're going to watch this 19-minute video where I go through that day 1, that slide, and just some of the important concepts, some of the tricky topics. I do a free response question that I think that would be relevant to the actual AP exam that you are going to be taking. So please take a look at that. Also do realize that when I made that video, Hudson was in mid meltdown, so you will hear him downstairs listening to nursery rhymes. It's the only way that I could get him to calm down. But just so that you know, that's where those I don't really like Wheels on the Bus, but we have to listen to it a minimum of 82 times in this house. So that is where those sounds come from for that YouTube video. In terms of the assessment on Google Classwork, after you watch this video, I highly recommend, obviously, that you do the day 1 quiz. That's going to be a grade for you for your fourth marking period. In this part of the Google document, so anything that we did the class before that I think needs to be reviewed, I talk about in this box. I'm going to do that every day. So just as a reminder, you're going to be taking these exams online. They are free response only. There's going to be 2 questions. The first question is like 2 mini questions with many parts. So they said it's going to be very similar, like question 1 will be 2 and 3 combined. And then question 2 will be like a big question 1. It'll be many parts. You will be graded individually on each part. In terms of getting a sample of that exam, I'm hoping to do so Tonight, actually, the College Board is having a webinar that I'm going to attend at like 8:15. So hopefully they give us some more samples. Every time that we ask them for samples, they tell us to look at previously released exam questions, which I have been doing. But then they also remind us that students will not need to draw graphs, that they will need to kind of explain their answers instead. So you don't need to worry about grammar or anything like that. It's just going to be a lot of, oh, the supply curve in this will shift because, and just kind of get to the answer. Very analytical type stuff. So hopefully I'm going to get my hands on a sample soon and then use it. But before that, what I've been doing, and if you watch my video, you'll see that the questions that I picked out are ones where you don't need to draw a graph, but you need to do analysis. So that's what I imagine that yours are going to look like on the 20th and the 21st. So that's what they did. So they're free response only. In terms of exam security, what they said is that you should encourage students to use their notes, to use their Krugman textbook or whatever textbook that they use, around the country, they all use different textbooks, that they should really stick to that type of stuff. It's really cool that you guys get to use, open book and open notes. They suggest that you don't do Google searches. Could you possibly do it and get away with it? Yes. Do I recommend that you do it? No. They've been administering online exams for a while. I guess for a lot of international students, they do it. And what they notice is there's a kid that literally got in trouble last year, several kids, but they gave one example of a kid that was taking a College Board physics exam. And they had to do it online. I think they were like an international student or something like that. They were taking it online and they Googled the question. And they found themselves in like a message board, like on a site where they were actually reading what other students were writing. And that is considered cheating. And they flagged it. They flagged everybody that got to that site, and they canceled the students' scores, and they reported it to the students' colleges and universities. So to me, it is not worth it. It is not a good idea to do a Google search to like search the question. You're not supposed to be talking with other students through texting, through chatting, talking to them on the phone. You need to be doing this on your own. Look at your notes, use your textbook. And if you go back to this PowerPoint, well, it's not a PowerPoint, it's technically a Google slide. If you actually look at this Google slide, this would be something that I would print out and have on me to reference, because this is somebody, I've been teaching this class for 7 years. I know the College Board exams. I know what they generally have looked like in the past. I have graded them. This is a great resource that I would print and have on me while I was taking this online exam. That's my suggestion to you, okay? And that will help you with the analysis type questions, okay? So last class you did that survey. I tested you. Hey, do you know the dates? Do you know what the exam will look like? Do you know what the exam security will look like? And I just want to review those things so that you really are familiar with them. If you are somebody that is looking at these concepts from Unit 1 and you say, wow, I'm really kind of nervous about these concepts, I'm confused. Many of you asked me to give you some extra information, so I did. This is a review guide, which if we were in, actual school, you could click, I would have a copy of everything for this. This is a good review guide, and I tell you what pages to focus on. So like an actual, if we were doing our real review that we would do in school, you would be expected to read this for homework and to answer questions. So I put that stuff as optional. Notice how it says optional. You don't have to do it. I put the optional activities that we've done in class before. I put a pretty good Khan Academy video, and I put a guy, Mr. Clifford, he runs that AP Econ channel. He makes a lot more money than I do with an awesome YouTube channel. If I was a cool, savvy YouTuber, maybe I could be making that additional revenue too. But as you can tell, I'm very awkward on YouTube. So these are some optional resources that if you're struggling or if you're unsure, that this is where you should be doing. But for the most part, this is your required stuff. Do the instruction, do the assessment. Every day of review, I will review how you did on the previous day. I will give you important feedback. So this will always be in the format of here's the YouTube video, here are the Google Docs, and then you take the quiz. Okay. I am currently kind of got bombarded with grading, so I'm doing some grading and finalizing your third marking period grade. So that should be done in the next 24 or 48 hours. I really miss you a lot. I hope that you're safe and that you're well. And I'm around all day, but my official office hours, because we need to tell you official office hours, are from 12 to 1. And hope you have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.